Welcome back to the Nita Black Show. Um, the questions that you guys had for me was about Hollywood parties. So I'm going to try and give you a little bit of information so that you understand exactly why so many of your entertainers seem like they're messed up and what really goes on in these Hollywood parties. Now, a lot of people have tried to tell you guys that it's not good. A lot of people have tried to tell you guys that it's some pretty bad stuff that go on at these parties. Some of them are, just regular parties where people get with, whoever and do whatever. But some of them are actually set up to, to set people up, videotape them doing things that uh, are not exactly against their will because they agreed to come to the party, they agreed to do the things, they just didn't know that they were being videotaped. And then you have other people who are basically coerced into coming to the party, coerced into doing these things because they want that contract, they want um, that fame, that fortune, and that carrot has been dangled in front of them, and they're saying, okay, how bad could it be? It can get pretty bad. So when you get to Hollywood and you make any kind of a name for yourself, or if you just uh, are on some show or whatever, and it's, people like you, and it seems like, that you have a following, it seems like you can be a hot commodity for the minute, you're invited to one of these Hollywood parties. You're invited to meet certain people that you never would have met before, and you're offered, in many cases, a lot of money uh, in these contracts. But the contracts are not signed in offices where you would expect them to be. They're actually signed in the morning after these parties. So you're invited to, come to the party, meet some people. They have everything there that you can possibly want. They're looking for your vice. They're looking for what you're into. So you got a bunch of females there. You got a bunch of guys there. If you're a female, you get to see all these, hard body guys. And they have more food than you know what to do with. If you like to drink or are not used to having whatever you want to drink, they got all the champagne, all the liquor. Um, they even have heavy drugs. They have anything that you're into is there. So you get there, they're watching to see what you're into, and you're being videotaped the whole time. You don't know it. But what also happens there, you have a lot of people that end up doing things after they are basically drugged. If you're seeming a little too uptight, a little too tense, someone will actually put something in your drink, and um, you will not know that you were drugged until the next day. Sometimes you end up still there in the afternoon, and you wake up and you know something happened. So once they videotape you, they pretty much got you. You've done some things that you never would have thought you would do, and it's on tape. And so at that point, you sign whatever they put in front of you because you don't want those tapes to get out. So yes, the Hollywood parties um, is where they tend to set people up. Many of these Hollywood parties, you have couples that go and they may get with 8, 9, 10 other couples, and they swap wives, they swap husbands, whatever the situation. So you have a lot of miserable people in Hollywood because of the things that they have done and things that they are made to do. Um, you asked about the Pizzagate situation. Was it fake news? Did it really happen? What's really going on with that? And what happens, a lot of these uh, people that have been in the industry, run the industry, and different things, they have this ridiculous and really sadistic fascination with having relations with little bitty children. And you got a lot of children that come into the industry. The parents are all excited and whatnot, and they want the child to be famous. The child may have some little talents that everybody thinks is really cute and whatnot. And the party for the children is the same kind of party without all of the adults, you know, liquor and all that stuff. But a party is held for the children. And the parents are invited, and the children have, all this fun and whatnot. But it's really a prelude to some really sadistic stuff. And yes, you have a lot of people, anybody that you hear saying that Pizzagate was fake news is probably part of the whole ring of people that are doing these things, or they have friends or colleagues that they know are into it and their careers will be messed up if it's found out that they mess with children. The Pizzagate situation, you guys really need to start digging deeper into that and seeing how deep that rabbit hole goes, because there are high level people that you guys admire that have done some really awful things when it comes to children. You have other people who have done things to children and been videotaped because they were made to do it in order to have their career, or it includes a lot of ugly stuff from murder to, you actually have people who have murdered babies, who have murdered children, who have murdered teens. And these are people that are running some of these shows, running some of these studios, running some of these different things that you guys sit up and watch every day. So you really need to start, if you have questions about Pizzagate, no, it is not fake news. It actually happened. But you guys need to start looking into who is really involved in this. When you hear someone's name, don't just brush it off as, people just trying to deface their character and all that stuff. There are anybody in high level places have done some things that are not good. So the Pizzagate thing is really one of those things that they got caught doing some really sadistic, ugly stuff with children. Okay? So there's a lot of people out there messing with children, but it is a huge, huge, really, really bad problem in the Hollywood industry. So in the modeling industry, in the sports industry, when you see a black male and he's all clean cut and whatnot, and a year later you see him, he's all tattooed, he's dressing in women's clothing, too tight clothing, and he seemed like he'd been turned out, chances are he's been turned out. When you see these basketball players, these football players, and they look like they've been turned out, they've been turned out. Ain't no probably. They've been turned out. You have people that literally prey on these children that come into the industry, and now you have white males that have done all of these big name black entertainers, and now these black entertainers go out and do the same thing to young blacks that are trying to get into the industry. So that's one issue that you guys as consumers are really going to have to start looking into so that we can stop this thing. Okay? Because it's really, really bad. It's really, really ugly. All right? So I hope that answers your questions. If you have any more questions about things like that, feel free to ask. If you can like, subscribe, all that stuff to the video. But what I really need you guys to do is look in the links, look at the books, go to Amazon. You can, choose the books. The books tell you a lot of stuff that's going on in the industry and in the black communities in general. So the ABC, the Blackness, deals with it in a way that anybody can understand what's going on. So you just look for that in the links, and you know how we do. If I'm still here the next time, we're going to talk about some things. Bye.